Day 4 of Browns training camp here at the Greenbrier is in the books. And Mary Kay, again, they just keep rolling out all the big names for us to talk to. And today it was Myles Garrett and Greg Newsom. So let's start with Myles Garrett. His former teammate Malik Jackson questioned Myles Garrett's leadership. Of course, Malik Jackson was here in 2021. That was a pretty brutal year for a lot of people. And Malik questioned Myles' leadership, indicated he could be a better leader. Myles had a chance to respond today to what Malik had to say.
Well, first of all, he said that Malik is entitled to his opinion, but Myles also made it clear that he felt that he was okay with his leadership during that season, but noted that leadership is sort of a work in progress and that you change your leadership voice as you go along. And I've seen Myles do that. He was very quiet in the beginning, and then as some incidents happened to him, the helmet incident and things throughout his career, he has stepped up and become more of a vocal leader. There have been a few bumps in the road, of course, along the way. He had the incident with flipping the Porsche last year, but you know, and in terms of leadership, I think that was part of it. But, I do think that he has gotten better in that area. But as we all know, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah, and Myles, what we've seen from him here at camp is he's taken a lot of the young guys under his wing. Alex Wright, Isaiah Thomas. We've gotten a chance to see him really kind of work with those guys, work pass rush moves. And, I don't know if Myles is ever going to be like that rah, go get him, Jarvis Landry type of leader. But he can lead by example, and he can lead by being a veteran and by teaching, and I think we're seeing him grow into that a little.
Yeah, and even Greg Newsom talked about that. He said that Myles has done a tremendous job of leadership and that the guys all look up to him and that they all understand that leadership takes on different forms. And even Myles talked about Zadarius Smith being more of a vocal leader and that they will all kind of look up to him and listen to him in that regard.
Now, Greg Newsom, he's wearing the number 0 now. Why? Because he wants a fresh start. We heard from Greg, and he kind of explained a lot of that today.
Yeah, Greg had a very turbulent offseason, I would say. It kind of began with him balking at playing inside, and he had to work through that whole issue. But he's had a lot of other things. I mean, his car was stolen, and, his friend Perion, who's no longer with the team, was robbed at gunpoint in that incident. He has had the Northwestern hazing issue, which he also addressed today. So there's been a lot going on. There was rumors that he has to be traded, and so he just wanted to put on that 0, become the first Cleveland Brown to ever to wear the 0. They're allowed to wear it this year for the first time since I think 1972. And so he's excited. He wants that fresh start. He wants to put all that behind him. He thinks it will be his best season.
And the other part of it is in Jim Schwartz's scheme, he's going to get to play more man. Denzel Ward, all these guys are going to get to play more man-to-man. And I know there are analytics out there, there's data out there, but then also just the eyeball test, Mary Kay. It just feels like these guys were made to play that way and are more comfortable playing that way.
Yeah, the way that Greg talks about his role, which he's very, very excited about. Some of the best cornerbacks in the NFL play that dual role, playing inside, outside, and then he'll be playing more man-to-man, and he's excited about that. They drafted him in the first round because they felt he could do that he could match up with the game's best receivers. But he's also, playing in the slot, and then you draw at times a player like Elijah Moore, who he had high praise for today. So I think it can be a big year for Greg.
Now, on the practice field today, Amari Cooper still not back. DeJuan Jones was out there, but guys kind of starting to work their way back a little bit. We did see Anthony Walker and Sione Takitaki go through some individual drills, too.
Yeah, it's good to see those guys getting back out there, coming back from their surgeries. Again, DeJuan, after 2 days with the illness, came back. He needs all the reps that he can get, a rookie offensive tackle trying to nail down that swing job. Now, as far as Amari is concerned, they've got the off day tomorrow. Maybe he'll be back on Thursday. But it is getting a little thin in the receiver room. Dan and Kevin Stefanski addressed that today, that, if they had to, in a pinch, they could pull Demetric Felton back, but they really want him to focus on running back.
And we got to see a little bit of a ramp up today. They're going to put on pads on Friday and Saturday. This has been a very slow ramp up, but we got to see some more competitive periods. They did some third and short periods. Most notably, they did a goal line period towards the end of practice. That was 7-on-7. But we really got to see this defense push back a little bit against this offense. And, the offense had its moments, but the defense certainly won that period if we're keeping score.
Yes, they did. And even Greg Newsom acknowledged we got the best of them. And they did. And again, as we mentioned, a number of the wide receivers are not practicing right now. So they don't have their full complement of guys. But the defense really did a nice job today of shutting things down in the end zone, breaking up passes, and really showing that they will be a force to be reckoned with this season.
All right, Wednesday's an off day, then 4 more days here at the Greenbrier, and then we are getting so close to seeing this football team actually play a game in the Hall of Fame game. It'll be a week from Thursday, which is really hard to believe still. But of course, we're going to cover it all. You can find it all at cleveland.com/Browns.